Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in business. Hello and welcome to episode number 48 of Business Behind the Scene. Today we're talking about goal setting. Now, this week has been a really incredible week for me. I've been working really hard on pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I have a couple of coaches that are helping me with masculine, feminine energy, and I've been loving studying about this. I always thought that I was very masculine in my business, and I always thought that I had to learn how to be more feminine. And then when you start to study this stuff, you realize that you're more feminine than you ever thought. So if you're a female and you think that you're masculine, I would strongly recommend that you go and do some work on what is masculine really is and how does that affect your life. So I have been loving the journey. In the same time, the challenge is pushing me out of my comfort zone, which means I'm getting hurt, literally, physically, I'm getting sick, right? All of the things are happening because of the sabotage of going, I'm not sure I want to go there, right? It's something that when you are embracing change, you will go through change physically as well. And that's part of being out of the comfort zone. Now, a lot of people like me, I'm terrified of pain. I don't want to feel pain. I do anything to avoid pain, which we all know that is not going to help to get my life, my business, to become the best version of myself. So in this podcast, we're talking about goals, and this is perfect because I literally have been pushing myself out of my comfort zone in my personal life. I've always worked really hard in the business. I've always set a lot of goals in the business, although in my personal life, I always thought, whatever, I don't need to set goals in my personal life. I don't need to do that. So I know a lot of my clients don't set goals in business and don't set goals in a personal life. And so I thought, why not? I'm going to share with you why it's so vital for us to set goals in the first place. So one of the things that I believe that a lot of people put a goal in place and then they work beyond themselves to achieve it, and they burn out along the way. Other people, they set a goal and they forget about it, and then they never do anything to achieve it. So there is a lot of different emotions attached to setting a goal. But what is usually the most common denominator is that people think that when they set a goal is because so then I will feel happy, so then I will feel better, so then I will finally feel amazing, right? So there is always a feeling attached to why we want to set a goal. And the truth is that when you get to that goal, have you ever done that before? Think about one time that you had a goal and then you achieve it. How long did that feeling of happiness or fulfillment of amazingness, how long that feeling stayed with you? Was it a year? Was it 6 months? Oh, was it 3 months? Was it 1 month? Was it like 2 weeks? Was it like 1 day? Was it like 2 hours? Right? You got to ask yourself that question. And when you realize that, wait, I don't want to work this hard for then be happy for 2 hours. Stuff that. And that's why a lot of people sabotage their goals, because they know that in the past, once they have achieved that goal, then they will be bored, or they'll be, what's next? And they're not going to feel the way they thought they were going to feel. So what I've realized and what I've studied is that there's nowhere to get to. We can have the feeling of happiness, fulfillment, amazingness, whatever that is right now. It's not the goal that we're going to achieve that is going to make us feel better. So if we think about that, then why would I to set a goal, Francesca? Let's just not have any goals. Well, the reason why we want to set goals is because we still want to always grow and become a better version of ourselves, don't we? So if you do always want to grow, and you always want to push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you always want to have a purpose and support the planet and become a best version of yourself so that we can have a ripple effect in this world, then setting goals is going to help you to actually achieve them. The only reason why you want to set a goal is because you want to achieve that so that you can go to the next level of your life, of your business, of your career, of your relationship, whatever that looks like, right? So we need to start to look into the reason why we're going to set a goal. And if it's for attached to a feeling, I would really strongly recommend that you change it. So we need to start to think about, how can I get better at something? How can I get to the next level of something? So if we are not ever setting a goal, eventually we're going to get bored. Eventually we're going to get not fulfilled. Eventually we're going to start to sabotage even the little things that we do so that we can feel challenged. Now, one of the things that a person told me the other day, she was like, I don't want to push myself limits. I don't want to feel any feelings. So think about this. When you put a goal in place, then there is going to be a little bit of a feeling of, oh my gosh, what if I don't achieve it? And that feeling is fear. And a lot of people don't want to set goals because they don't want to feel fear. But what if we just allow that fear is just an emotion? And we're not going to die feeling fear. And so if you go, okay, I'm going to set a goal. I know I'm going to feel fearful once I put the goal, and I'm just going to feel the fear. What if you just do that? It's fascinating how many people just don't want to put a goal in place because they're terrified of feeling something negative. But guess what? If you're never going to achieve that goal, if you're never going to improve yourself, if you're never going to become a better person of yourself, you're probably, most likely, are going to stay feeling disappointed with yourself. So it's really important that we start to look into the reason why we want to do things, but also the reason why we don't want to do things. Because when you look at the reason why you don't want to do things, again, it's attached to feeling. You don't want to feel a certain way. So how does this work? Well, what's important about this is that we want to set a goal from a place of already having it, already achieving it, from a desirable place where there's peace. I know I'm gonna get there. I don't have any rush to get there because there is not better than here. I still want to get there because I want to be the better version of myself, because I want to, think a bigger way, because I want to, expand who I am, but it doesn't gonna make me feel any different. So the first thing we want to do is to start to list things that you want, and the things that you want that you also already have, and ask yourself, before you ever even dreamed about having what you already have, what did you do? How did you behave? Because you already succeeded. I went to a course once of Tony Robbins, and he was teaching us how the recipe to success is within you right now. What that means is that we all have succeeded something, right? We speak, right? You speak maybe a second language, or you play piano, or you dance salsa, or you learn how to, you're doing your job right now, or you learn how to speak on stage, or you learn how to read, right? Let's go from the most difficult things to the easiest things. You all achieved something in your life. So go and have a look what you achieved and what you succeeded at, and ask yourself, how did I do it? What did I do first? What did I do second? What did I think? What did I believe? What did I didn't believe? What was I afraid of? What wasn't I afraid of? So you just want to get clear on what ingredients you use and in what order for the success that you had. And when you understand that, then you know that you can achieve any goal you want, because it's the same structure. But what our brain tells us a lot is that, oh no, but wait, this is different. We don't know how. So then go back to the thing that you were successful at and ask yourself, did I know how back then? Did I know exactly how to do it, or did I just go for it? So this is what is truly important that we do. We just have to own the fact that we already know it. You already know how to do what you want to do. You already know how to achieve what you want to achieve. Yes, of course, you can sign up to courses, you can get coaches, you can get experts, which I totally recommend that you do. But I also wanted to let you know that if you do that, it's going to get faster, but you just have to do it with a knowing that it's going to happen regardless. There is no bad decision. There's a lot of people that don't set goals because they're afraid of the decision that they have to make when they do that. So I've been studying Brooke Castillo, and I love her podcast. If you haven't heard it, just go ahead. She's amazing. Her podcast is The Life Coach School. and she teaches a lot of this stuff. And one of the things that she teaches is the thought download. So just write down what is the goal that you want to achieve and be specific and really understand how you know that you're going to achieve it. And like be, I'm pretty sure that a lot of you already learn in past studies how to put a goal in place, right? You got to be specific, it's got to be measurable, it's got to be something that is achievable, right? It's got to be something that is over there. So once you have done that, then you got to ask yourself, what's coming up right now? What is stopping me from achieving that right now? And write down all the thoughts. So this Brooke Castillo calls it this thought download. You want to write down all the things that come up when you think about achieving that goal. There could be fears, there could be blocks, there could be, I don't know how, there could be questions, there could be judgment. There is so much that come up when you start to write it down. And the thought download is something that has really helped me to see, this is what's stopping me. This is what I truly think about all of this. So a belief is something that you think over and over and over and over again. So when you do a thought download, you're pretty much putting all your beliefs into a page so that you can be aware of going, this is what I'm thinking right now. This is what's happening right now. I want to change that. I want to make sure that I don't do that, right? So once you've done that, once you've got a thought download, now it's time for you to put a plan in place. People do the opposite. They do a goal and then do a plan and then they do nothing, right? So, but if you do a goal and then you write down all the reason that are stopping you, or all the thoughts that come up about that goal, then you're going to be able to then work on the action from a clear space, from your mind being open and understanding that, okay, this is what I need to do next. So finally, you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do to guarantee that I meet my goal? And so you may start to do a list of all the things that you need to do to achieve that goal. And most likely, you already know it. It's already in you. Even if you don't know how to do some of these things, then you can go and find someone can help you to learn how to do those things. But you know what needs to be done. So take a look at everything that you want and start to do a list of the thought download and then list on how you're going to achieve it, what the action that you're going to take. You'll be surprised how different it would be to do a goal setting once you know these things. Because everything starts from our brain. Everything is in our brain. And if we are not open to fail, this is the biggest thing that stops most people from actually do achieve a goal, is that they're terrified of failing. They're terrified of putting themselves out there and then failing. But guess what? A lot of us, me included, I'm going to tell you a story in a second, we fail forward. So I had a challenge from one of my coaches to go and join a pole dancing class. And if anybody knows me, I am very reserved type of person, and pole dancing is not really something that I would think I would ever do. So I took the challenge, because when someone challenged me and I don't want to do it, I understand that there is some limiting beliefs around it. So I went and I took a private class with a friend of mine, and dear Lord, it was hard. It was really hard. It was really hard on my comfort zone. I didn't feel good at it. So a lot of limiting beliefs came up of, see, I'm not good at anything new. I can't do this. This is hurting. I don't want to get bruises in my legs. Oh my gosh, how can people do this? And I was in my head the whole session. I was in fear. I was tired. I was exhausted. I was terrified of hurting myself. And all of those fears were so alive and they felt so real at the time that I failed in managing my mind. And so by failing managing my mind, my body went into a fight or flight, and I hurt myself so that I didn't have to continue. So this is what happened when we don't work on our mindset. We will end up falling and we'll end up failing in advance. So because I didn't believe I could ever stand on that pole or, lift myself on that pole, and I thought that it was a waste of my time, and I thought that this was too difficult for me, and all those thoughts were coming to my brain, then I manifested it. So I was wondering how many people do that in business. They set themselves such a huge goal, they go for it, and then as they start doing it, it gets too difficult, one obstacle after the other. They start to encounter all these obstacles, they get terrified, and they choose to stop, or they choose to sabotage, or just choose to fail, or they manifest something horrible happening to them. And that is failing in advance. They choose to fail now so that they don't have to fail later. But isn't that the ultimate failure? And I have done it. And I have done it in multiple things in my life, and I keep doing it. And it's normal. I'm not saying that this is something that we should never do, but awareness. If you're aware of it, now that you're aware of it, it comes into you understand this is something that you're going to probably do again. And so you can predict it. And when you can predict it, you can avoid it. When you can predict that this is the pattern that you might end up doing, then you can stop it. So what you want to do in this case is to write down all the things, all the obstacles that might come your way. So now that you've got this goal, you're going to go, okay, most likely my brain, when I start doing it, is going to tell me this and this and that. And most likely what I'm going to start to behave like is this and that. And most likely what I am not going to be doing that I wanted to be doing is going to be this and this and that. And then you're going to start to have a list of all the things, predict all the things that you think are going to happen. And then when you know that, then you're going to be able to really achieve your goals. Not that so you can feel better, or you can feel happier, or you can feel any better emotion than where you are now, but then so you can grow, you can become a better version of yourself, and always pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So you guys, this is my goal setting way to do it, right? I do goal setting all the time, and I started to do that in my personal life as well. And to be able to achieve a goal, you gotta overcome fears, and the fears that will come up most likely will also come up in other areas of your life. So I always do that. When something happened to me, that for me, not to me, but when something happened, I go, oh, that's interesting. What other area of my life I sabotage like this? What other area of my life I avoid things like this? What other area of my life I don't want to do this, or I'm afraid of this outcome? And when I am aware of, okay, this is a pattern, this happens in multiple areas of my life, then I can actually work it out, how to stop it, how to stop that pattern. Because if it's not serving me, if it's not giving me the results that I want, then we all agree there's something that you want to change. So have fun setting all your goals, have fun being vulnerable with yourself and showing yourself that, hey, yeah, there is something that I want to do and there's fears coming up. So be mindful of what's happening in your brain, be mindful of the thoughts, of the questions, of the self-talk, of everything that is coming up, because it's all part of the sabotage for your goal setting. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today, and I'll definitely see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, then you have to come check out the Entrepreneur's Abundance Mindset Mastermind. It's my monthly mastermind where you get to spend time with me, where we take all this material, we apply it, we study it, and so we can take your business to a whole new level. So just go to the Francesca Moi, the Meetup Queen Facebook business page, and then just send me a message and you'll be able to choose the option EAM Mastermind. I would love to have you join me there, and I'll see you next week.